"This video is about," she cried at work, and the philanthropist made him a director. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. In the bustling heart of Midtown Manhattan, Alana Foster sat at her desk, surrounded by the fluorescent hum of her office. She was a marketing associate at a mid-sized nonprofit organization focused on providing education to underprivileged children. With her hair pulled back into a tight bun, it was a typical Friday, yet Alana felt an unusual heaviness looming over her. The weight of her responsibilities had begun to feel like an anchor, pulling her under the waves of debt. Alana had always believed in the mission of her organization, yet lately the daily grind had dulled her initial fervor. She watched as fellow employees chatted animatedly about an upcoming community event while she struggled to muster the energy to participate. As the clock ticked closer to the end of the workday, Alana received news that made her heart sink. A funding proposal they had worked on for months had been rejected. The silence in the office felt palpable, and Alana's chest tightened. The rejection meant that vital resources for the children they served were now at risk. Just then, her supervisor, Greg, entered the office. His typically upbeat demeanor was overshadowed by disappointment. "We'll our group next week," he said, trying to lift the mood. "But I know this is tough." Alana nodded, but the tears she had been holding back began to spill over. She felt exposed, vulnerable, and for the first time in a long while, utterly defeated. She stood up abruptly, unable to control her emotions, and rushed to the restroom. In the solitude of the small stall, Alana let the tears flow freely. She felt the sting of frustration and despair. Why had she poured so much of herself into this organization, only to feel this way? It was in that moment of isolation that she silently vowed to find a way to reignite her passion. After washing her face, Alana stepped back into the office, her eyes red but her resolve strengthening. She had decided she wouldn't let the setback define her or her colleagues. As she walked towards her desk, she stumbled upon an unexpected sight. A man in a sharp suit was speaking to Greg. He was the kind of person who commanded attention not just because of his tailored look, but also because of the aura of kindness that enveloped him. Alana recognized him as Marcus Trent, a philanthropist known for his generous contributions to educational initiatives. Alana paused, listening as Marcus spoke passionately about the importance of resilience and hope. "The real measure of an organization is not how many resources it has, but how it responds to challenges," he said. "Each setback is an opportunity to rise stronger." Alana felt a flicker of inspiration ignite within her. She approached the group, wiping away the remnants of her tears. "If we can pivot our approach, I believe we could still create a compelling proposal," she interjected, surprising even herself. Greg turned to her, a hint of admiration in his gaze. Marcus nodded encouragingly. "That is the spirit we need. Tell me more about your ideas," he said, his eyes bright with interest. The conversation unfolded effortlessly. Alana shared her thoughts on community engagement and leveraging social media to rally support. The more she spoke, the more she felt the weight lifting from her shoulders. The passion she thought she had lost was returning. After their discussion, Marcus turned to Greg, his expression serious yet warm. "You have a strong team here, Greg. I can see the potential. I'd love to help you all grow." With a few more words of encouragement, he left, leaving behind a sense of hope that had been absent just moments before. "Did you see that?" Greg exclaimed, his enthusiasm infectious. "Marcus is impressed. Alana, that was fantastic." As the team gathered around to discuss the next steps, Alana felt a renewed sense of purpose. The tears she had shed were not just tears of sorrow, they had washed away her fears and doubts, revealing a deeper tenacity within her. Weeks turned into months, and Alana became an integral part of the organization's revival. With Marcus as guidance, they developed a comprehensive strategy that included workshops for community families, fostering local partnerships, and utilizing social media to spread their message further. Through it all, Alana learned the power of collaboration and the importance of staying connected to the mission. She witnessed firsthand how small acts of kindness could ripple through communities, inspiring others to get involved. One particularly cold winter evening, the organization hosted a gala to celebrate their new initiatives and raise funds. Alana had poured her heart into planning the event, her mind constantly buzzing with ideas to create an evening that would resonate with everyone present. As she stood at the front of the room, looking out at the gathering, she felt a swell of pride. "Tonight, we are not just here to celebrate our successes," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "We are here to remind ourselves why we fight for these children every day. They are our future, and together, we can change their story." The crowd erupted in applause, and Alana felt a rush of warmth wash over her. The energy in the room was electric, and for the first time in months, she felt entirely at home in her role. As the night unfolded, Marcus approached her. "I must say, Alana, your growth has been remarkable. You have a natural talent for leadership," he said, his tone sincere. "I believe you are ready for more responsibility." "Thank you, Marcus," Alana replied, her voice steady. "I am just doing what I love." "Would you consider stepping into a director role?" he asked, his eyes twinkling with possibility. "I think you're meant for it." Alana's heart raced. The thought of directing was both exhilarating and terrifying. "I am flattered, really," she stammered, glancing at Greg, who gave her a supportive nod. "But just think about it," Marcus said, his confidence in her apparent. "You've shown incredible resilience and passion. It is time to take the next step." As the gala drew to a close, Alana took a moment to reflect on her journey, how the tears she shed had turned into a catalyst for change, both personally and for the organization. And suddenly, she knew that her answer was yes. The path ahead would undoubtedly be full of challenges, but Alana felt ready to embrace them. She could hear the echoes of Marcus's words. Each setback was an opportunity, and she was determined to rise. That night, as she fell asleep, Alana marveled at the beauty of the human spirit, the capacity for resilience, the power of hope, and the profound impact of kindness. It was a journey she was now fully committed to, and she was ready to lead others toward a brighter future. The first rays of sunlight filtered through Alana's bedroom window, casting a golden hue across the room. The morning after the gala, filled with promise, buzzed in her thoughts. She kept replaying Marcus's words in her mind. "You've shown incredible resilience and passion. It is time to take the next step." As she sat at her small kitchen table with a steaming cup of coffee, Alana felt the weight of the decision looming over her. Taking on the director role was not just a title, it was a commitment that would demand her very best. Could she really rise to the occasion? Her phone buzzed, breaking her thoughts. It was a message from Greg. "Let us meet this morning to discuss next steps, excited for what is ahead." Alana took a deep breath, her heart racing. This was it, time to embrace the unknown. At the non-profit's office, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Greg greeted her with a broad smile as she entered. "Alana, I am so glad you're here. We've got a lot to discuss about your potential new role." Alana felt both exhilarated and anxious as they settled into the conference room. "I've been thinking about it, Greg," she began, her voice steady yet vulnerable. "The director position, I'm honored to be considered, but I am not sure if I am ready." Greg leaned forward, his expression earnest. "You're more prepared than you realize. You've led teams, communicated with passion, and inspired others. Remember how you turned the gala into a success? That was you." A warm glow spread through Alana. "I guess I did find my voice again during that time," she admitted. "But this is a much bigger responsibility." "Every great leader has those doubts," Greg replied, his tone encouraging. "It is how you handle them that defines you. If you take this role, you'll have the chance to shape our future, to make an even bigger impact." His words hung in the air, and Alana found herself considering the possibility. "What if things don't go as planned?" she asked, her brow furrowed. "What if I fail?" Greg smiled gently. "Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. It is how we learn and grow. You've faced challenges before and come out stronger." Her mind drifted to the many hurdles she had overcome, the tears that had transformed into resilience. "Okay," she breathed in, a mix of fear and excitement swirling within her. "I'll do it. I'll accept the role." After their meeting, Alana felt a sense of clarity wash over her. She was ready to embrace the challenges ahead, but she knew she wouldn't be alone. The support of her colleagues lifted her spirits, fueling her ambition. With a new sense of purpose, Alana dove headfirst into her responsibilities. She began by gathering her team for a brainstorming session. "I want each of you to feel empowered to share ideas. Our strength lies in collaboration," she said, her voice filled with determination. As voices filled the room, Alana felt a renewed energy spark among her colleagues. Ideas flowed, bouncing off the walls, and for the first time in a long while, she felt the thrill of collective momentum. Weeks passed, and the organization began to flourish. Alana and her team implemented community workshops, created learning resources, and harnessed social media to amplify their message. The results were tangible: a growing network of support, volunteers eager to help, and, most importantly, children starting to benefit from the programs. However, the path was not devoid of obstacles. One particularly challenging week, they faced a major setback. A crucial grant they had applied for was denied, and the air felt heavy with disappointment as Alana gathered her team to address the news. We did our best, she said, her voice trembling slightly. But we need to find a way to keep pushing forward. The setback doesn't define us. You rewrite, a teammate chimed in. We can look for alternative funding sources. We've got to keep fighting for the kids. Yes, we need to pivot, Alana encouraged, her heart swelling with pride for her team's tenacity. Let us brainstorm new fundraising ideas. I want you back down, and I don't want any of you to either. The resilience of her team ignited a fire in Alana. They held a long, productive meeting that day, bouncing ideas off one another, fueled by a shared mission. In that moment, she realized that leadership was not about having all the answers, but fostering an environment where everyone felt empowered to contribute. In the midst of challenges, Alana discovered a deeper understanding of her own strength. One sunny afternoon, while reviewing proposals, she received a call from Marcus. Hey, Alana, I just wanted to check in on how everything is going. It has been a roller coaster, she admitted, letting out a small laugh. We had a grant denied, and it really shook us. That is tough, Marcus replied, sympathetic yet encouraging. But remember, every setback is a setup for a comeback. Have you thought about how to turn this into an opportunity? As they brainstormed together over the phone, Alana felt invigorated by his insights. It was clear that Marcus's belief in her wasn't just about her potential, it was about the impact she could have on her community. Thank you for believing in me, she said genuinely. Your support means the world. It is a privilege to support someone as passionate as you, Alana, he said. Remember, you were never alone in this. As Alana hung up, a renewed sense of purpose enveloped her. She organized a community meeting to discuss their vision, inviting families, local leaders, and potential partners to join the conversation. Standing in front of a diverse crowd, her heart racing, Alana began, "Thank you all for being here today. We were not just discussing challenges, we were brainstorming solutions together. Our children deserve the best, and with your help, we can make a significant impact." The energy in the room shifted as people began to share their own ideas and experiences, forming connections that would lead to collaborative actions. Alana watched in awe as her vision unfolded before her, powered by the collective spirit of the community. Months flowed into a dynamic rhythm of purpose. Programs expanded, community engagement grew, Alana's leadership style blossomed. She learned the importance of kindness and leadership, of listening to others, and of uplifting those around her. Then came the day of their annual report, a moment to reflect on their achievements. Alana stood before a packed auditorium, her heart pounding with anticipation. Tonight, we celebrate not just our successes, but our journey, she began. This organization has faced challenges, but we've risen together, fueled by hope and resilience. Each of you has played a vital role. As she spoke, Alana's eyes scanned the audience, landing on familiar faces, those of children whose lives had changed, parents filled with gratitude, and volunteers who had dedicated countless hours. In that moment, she felt a profound connection to the human spirit and unwavering determination to uplift one another. Together, we are not just changing lives, we are building a brighter future for our children, she concluded, her voice filled with passion. The applause that followed was thunderous, echoing through the room like a heartbeat of hope. Alana was enveloped in warmth and gratitude, knowing that each cheer represented a shared journey, a collective vision. As the applause faded, Marcus approached Hope with a proud smile. You've truly transformed this organization, Alana. Your resilience has inspired so many. Thank you, Marcus. I couldn't have done it without your guidance and the support of my incredible team, she replied, her heart swelling. As they stood there, surrounded by the tangible fruits of their labor, Alana realized that resilience wasn't just about facing setbacks, but thriving in the face of them, embracing the power of collaboration and community spirit. Months turned into years, and Alana remained steadfast in her role as director. She saw the impact of their work expanding beyond the walls of the organization, an ever-growing network of hope, kindness, and commitment to change. Through each triumph and tribulation, Alana reflected on her journey, grateful for the tears that had turned into strength, for the moments of vulnerability that led to empowerment. She had learned that true leadership was about lifting others, creating a legacy of resilience, and nurturing the beauty of the human spirit. And as she glanced out at a new generation of children, filled with dreams and potential, Alana felt an unwavering sense of hope. Together, they were all on a journey toward a brighter future, one built on love, courage, and the belief that anything was possible. The first rays of sunlight filtered through Alana's bedroom window, casting a golden glow across the room. It was a new day, filled with promise and potential. As she sipped her coffee, the warmth lingered in her hands, but her mind was racing with thoughts of the challenges ahead. The weight of her new role as director loomed over her like a storm cloud, but deep down, Alana felt a flicker of excitement. She was determined to channel that energy into action. "If I am going to lead, I need to be authentic," she whispered to herself, a mantra that would guide her through the tumultuous terrain of leadership. Arriving at the office, Alana noticed an unusual tension in the air. Whispers floated through the halls, and several employees were gathered in small clusters, their faces etched with concern. She felt a surge of urgency. "What is going on?" she inquired, glancing at Greg, who was pacing near her office door. "It is a tough day, Alana. We just heard back from another grant we applied for. They declined our proposal. It is our third denial this month," Greg replied, rubbing the back of his neck, anxiety evident in his posture. Alana's heart sank. "That is devastating," she said softly. "But we can't let this discourage us. We need to regroup and brainstorm." A murmur of agreement rippled through the small crowd, but Alana could sense the weight of disappointment. She took a deep breath. "Let us hold a team meeting. Together, we'll find a way to pivot." Once in the conference room, Alana faced her team, her heart racing. "I know this news is disheartening," she began, her voice steady but filled with empathy. "But I believe in our mission and the power of our community. Together, we can find new paths forward. We need to innovate." "I feel like we're spinning our wheels, though," one team member, Maya, said, her brow furrowed. "It is discouraging. What can we possibly do differently?" Alana felt a pang of uncertainty, but she knew this moment was pivotal. "What if we shift our focus from grants to grassroots fundraising?" she suggested. "We could engage our community directly, host events, collaborate with local businesses, and inspire people to contribute. We have amazing stories to share." A flicker of hope emerged on some faces. "That could actually work," Greg said, his eyes lighting up. "People love to support local initiatives." "Exactly," Alana affirmed, her voice growing stronger. "Let us leverage our connections, put together a plan, and rally support. We need to remind our community why this mission matters." The team rallied around her vision, and together they spent the next few hours brainstorming ideas that transformed the air in the room. Alana's heart swelled as she watched her colleagues draw from their experiences, each one contributing to a new mosaic of hope. As the weeks progressed, the organization began to find its footing. Anna led community workshops, each event more vibrant than the last. They partnered with local businesses to create fundraisers that not only raised money but built relationships. Children's laughter filled the air during family days, where parents engaged, connected, and felt empowered to become part of the change. One evening, as she was filing paperwork in her office, Alana received a text from Marcus. "Hey Alana, how are you holding up? I've heard amazing things about the recent community events." A smile broke across her face. "Hey, Marcus, we've been busy, but the response has been incredible. The community is rallying behind us." "Fantastic. I'd love to drop by and see it in action. Let us set up a time to catch up," he replied. When they met a few days later, Alana shared stories of the community's involvement, her excitement palpable. "It is amazing how much people want to help once they understand how they can make a difference," she said, her enthusiasm evident. "I am proud of you, Alana. Your leadership is inspiring," Marcus remarked, his eyes sparkling. "But don't forget to take care of yourself amidst all this." "I appreciate that, Marcus. It is easy to lose sight of self-care, but seeing the impact we're making fuels me," she replied, her expression softening. As the months rolled on, Alana's passion radiated through the organization, yet the toll of her responsibilities weighed heavily on her. One night, after a long day filled with meetings and events, she sat on the living room couch, exhaustion washing over her. "Why does it feel so hard?" she wondered, tears welling in her eyes. "Why can't I keep up?" In that moment of vulnerability, she remembered the tears she had shed in the restroom so long ago. They were the catalyst for her transformation, a reminder of her resilience. "I've faced challenges before," she whispered to herself, wiping away the tears. "I can do this." The next day, she made a shift. "I need to create space for openness," she told her team during their meeting. "Let us have a check-in session every week where we can discuss our struggles and successes. We should support each other." Her colleagues nodded in agreement, expressing relief at the idea of coming together. They shared laughter, concerns, and encouragement, reinforcing the bond that had developed within the team. Alana felt a renewed sense of purpose as they embraced vulnerability and hope. In the midst of their progress, however, a new challenge emerged. They discovered that a major local sponsor was withdrawing support due to budget cuts. The news hit like a thunderbolt, sending shockwaves through the team. "What do we do now?" Maya asked, her voice shaky. "That sponsorship was crucial for us." Alana felt a knot form in her stomach, but she took a deep breath, reminding herself that they had faced challenges before. "We adapt," she replied, her voice steady. "Let us brainstorm alternatives. We rebuild a strong grassroots base. Perhaps we can launch a crowdfunding campaign." "I love that idea," Greg said, his eyes brightening. "We can share our stories and let people know how their contributions can make a difference." As they divided tasks, a sense of camaraderie and determination enveloped the room. Alana watched her team come alive with ideas, their spirits reignited. They crafted compelling narratives and set up an online campaign that showcased the children and families they served, inviting the community to become part of their mission. The campaign launched, and within days, donations began to pour in. Alana's heart surged with gratitude as she saw the community rallying around their cause. "We are stronger together," she reminded her team, their energy palpable as they celebrated each milestone. Weeks later, with the campaign successful, Alana found herself walking through the community park, reflecting on the journey. She spotted familiar faces, children playing, families laughing, community members engaging with one another. It was a vivid tapestry of lives intertwined by hope. "Alana," her voice called out. It was Mrs. Thompson, a local parent. "I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done. Your work has changed our lives." Alana's heart swelled as she approached. "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. Your family's involvement means so much to us. Together, we are building something beautiful." That evening, she sat down with her journal, allowing the emotions of the day to flow through her pen. Gratitude, hope, and resilience filled the pages as she captured the essence of her journey. Months passed, and the organization flourished as their community initiatives expanded. Alana had learned to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and her leadership style matured into one that emphasized empathy, collaboration, and authentic connection. As the year drew to a close, Alana found herself preparing for their annual gala, a celebration of their achievements. Excitement buzzed in the air as she and her team decorated the venue, the energy contagious. On the night of the gala, Alana stood before a packed crowd, her heart racing as she looked into the faces of those who had supported their mission. "Tonight is about more than just our accomplishments," she began, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "It is a testament to the power of resilience and community. Together, we have overcome obstacles, and together, we will continue to uplift our children." The applause echoed in her ears like a symphony of hope. Alana's heart swelled with pride as she witnessed the ripple effect of kindness and commitment surrounding her. As she finished her speech, Marcus approached her, pride shining in his eyes. "You've accomplished so much, Alana. Your journey is a true inspiration." "Thank you, Marcus. I couldn't have done it without your belief in me and the incredible support of our community," she replied, her heart full. That night, surrounded by warmth and celebration, Alana reflected on her journey. She had learned that resilience wasn't just about overcoming setbacks, it was about creating a legacy of hope, kindness, and connection. And as she looked out at the faces of the children, parents, and supporters who believed in their mission, Alana felt a renewed sense of purpose. Each story represented strength, courage, and the embodiment of the human spirit. Together, they were on a journey toward a brighter future, one defined not just by challenges, but by the resilience to rise, inspire, and uplift one another. As the crisp autumn air swept through Manhattan, Alana Foster stood on the balcony of her office, sipping her coffee while watching the vibrant colors of the leaves dance in the wind. It was hard to believe how far she had come since that tearful day at her desk, surrounded by the fluorescent hum of the office. Now, as the director of a thriving nonprofit, Alana was filled with gratitude for the journey she had undertaken. Though it had been riddled with challenges, it was also marked by triumphs that sparked hope. "Hey, Alana," the voice called from her office. It was Greg, her trusted colleague and friend. "You ready for the big pitch meeting this afternoon?" Alana turned to him, a smile lighting up her face. "As ready as I'll ever be. I've been rehearsing my points all morning, but I am nervous, to be honest." Greg leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "You've got this. Remember how far you've come. You're not just leading, you're inspiring. We all believe in you." His words resonated deep within her. She had learned that leadership was not merely a role, but a journey of connection and empowerment. It was about lifting others and creating a vision that everyone could rally around. As the hour approached, Alana took a deep breath, her heart pounding as she gathered her notes. She had spent weeks refining her pitch to secure a crucial partnership with a local corporation that would allow them to expand their educational programs. In the meeting room, she faced a panel of corporate executives, their expressions a mix of skepticism and curiosity. The atmosphere was tense, yet Alana felt a spark of determination ignite within her. Thank you all for meeting with us today. I am excited to share how our organization is working to transform the lives of underprivileged children, she began, her voice steady. As she spoke, she poured her heart into the presentation, sharing stories of the children whose lives had changed because of their programs. She highlighted the community initiatives, the laughter of children during workshops, and the resilience of families coming together to support one another. One executive, a woman with sharp features and an unwavering gaze, raised an eyebrow. You mentioned the challenges your organization has faced: the multiple grant rejections, community skepticism. How can we trust that you can deliver results? Alana felt the familiar knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. It was a valid concern, but she had learned to embrace the tough questions. Every setback has pushed us to innovate, to adapt, and to lean into our community. We've rebuilt a grassroots movement that has proven effective and inspiring. Each obstacle is now a stepping stone towards success, she replied, her conviction palpable. The panel exchanged glances, and Alana could sense a flicker of curiosity. It was a small victory, but she was determined to keep pushing forward. After a few more questions and heartfelt responses, Alana wrapped up her pitch. Thank you for your time. Together, we can create lasting change for these children. I believe in the power of collaboration, and I hope you will join us in this journey, she concluded, her heart full of hope. As she left the meeting, a mix of exhilaration and anxiety coursed through her. How do you think it went? Greg asked, meeting her outside the conference room. I think I made them see our vision, Alana responded, her voice trembling slightly. But who knows, it's hard to gauge. It is a step forward, regardless. You did great, Greg said, offering her a reassuring pat on the back. Days turned into weeks, and Alana poured herself into her work. She felt the weight of responsibility resting on her shoulders, knowing that the success of their mission hinged on the partnerships they forged. One rainy afternoon, after a particularly tiring day filled with meetings and phone calls, Alana found herself staring blankly at her computer screen, her mind swelling with doubt. Why does it feel so overwhelming? She whispered, resting her head on her arms. Just then, her phone buzzed with a message from Marcus. Can we catch up? I'd love to hear how things are going. Alana felt a surge of relief at the thought of connecting with him. Absolutely, she typed back. I could use some advice. They met at a cozy cafe in her neighborhood, the smell of fresh coffee and baked goods enveloping them. Marcus greeted her with his warm smile, exuding an aura of calmness that always put her at ease. Hey, Alana, it's good to see you. How are things going? He asked, settling into a chair across from her. Alana sighed, pouring her heart out. I am struggling with the pressure. It feels like every decision I make carries enormous weight. I worry about whether I am doing enough. Marcus listened attentively, nodding as she spoke. Leadership is about embracing that pressure. It is normal to feel overwhelmed, especially when you're passionate about your work, but remember, you don't have to do it alone. I know, Alana replied, feeling a bit lighter. But sometimes I lose sight of the bigger picture. Marcus leaned forward, his eyes sparkling with conviction. The bigger picture is about the impact you're remaking. Think about the children whose lives you're rechanging. You're recreating ripples of hope, Alana. His words resonated deeply within her. It was easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget about the lives they were touching. Thank you, Marcus. You always know how to bring me back to center, she said gratefully. As she left the cafe, Alana felt rejuvenated, her mind buzzing with ideas. The next day, she gathered her team for a brainstorming session. I want us to focus on our mission again, she declared, her voice steady. Let us remind ourselves why we are here. We are changing lives, and we need to celebrate that. With energy filling the room, they bounced ideas off one another, reigniting their collective passion. Alana introduced the concept of Storytelling Week, where they would invite families to share their experiences with the organization, illustrating the impact of their work. Let us create a video montage to showcase these stories, Alana suggested. We can use it to inspire others to join our mission. Her team was enthusiastic. They dove into planning, reaching out to families and gathering stories from their community. Each narrative was unique, filled with struggles, triumphs, and unwavering hope that fueled their pursuit of education. As Storytelling Week unfolded, Alana witnessed the power of connection. Families gathered, sharing laughter and tears as they recounted their journeys. The stories painted a vivid tapestry of resilience and strength, captivating everyone involved. One mother, Maria, shared how the organization had helped her son discover his love for learning. For the first time, he feels like he belongs, she said, her voice quivering with emotion. You don't just teach children, you believe in them. Alana felt a lump form in her throat as she listened. Moments like these reminded her of the importance of their work, the reasons she had poured her heart and soul into this mission. "Thank you for sharing that, Maria," she said, tears brimming in her eyes. "Your story is the essence of why we do what we do." As the weeks rolled on, the video montage took shape, a beautiful compilation of heartfelt stories that illustrated the impact of their work. That evening, Alana and her team gathered in the conference room to watch the final cut together. As the video played, laughter and tears filled the room. Alana felt her heart swell with pride as she heard the children's voices, their dreams shining brightly through the camera. "This is incredible," Greg said, wiping a tear from his eye. "We need to share this with the community." "Absolutely," Alana agreed, her voice filled with conviction. "We'll share it on social media and invite everyone to our upcoming community event. Let us create a space for connection and collaboration." The event buzzed with energy as families gathered, drawn together by the stories they had shared. That night, under twinkling fairy lights, Alana stood before the crowd, her heart racing. "Thank you all for being here," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "Tonight is a celebration of resilience, hope, and community. We are stronger together, and together we can create a brighter future for our children." As the crowd erupted in applause, Alana felt the wave of gratitude wash over her. It was a testament to the human spirit, a collective commitment to uplift one another. Afterward, Marcus approached her, his gaze filled with admiration. "You have a gift for bringing people together, Alana. This event was a success." "Thank you, Marcus. I couldn't have done it without the support of my team and our community," she replied, her heart swelling with pride. As the evening drew to a close, Alana reflected on her journey. She had learned that challenges were merely stepping stones to greater resilience and connection. Each struggle had shaped her into a leader determined to inspire and uplift those around her. Months passed, and as the organization continued to flourish, Alana found herself standing on the rooftop of their office one warm summer evening. The city sprawled beneath her, a vibrant tapestry of life and possibility. With a smile on her face, she recalled the journey that had brought her here, the tears shed, the doubts faced, and the unwavering support of those who believed in